In Part 1, Coola's desire for he and others to improve to overthrow Freeza eventually led to the Saiyans and a body-swapped Freeza being his doom, with those lost in the decisive battle revived on Namek. We move on to Part 2. Despite Freeza now being an easy target for the Saiyans, Bardock stops Vegeta from finishing him off, and instead tails him after he retreats when knowing of Cold Dior still being out there, and this being their one opportunity to stop him before he retreats from his hiding place and grows stronger. Knowing he's out of his depth, Piccolo instead leaves to Namek, where he decides Nail is right and they must merge, as well as a few other Namekians joining Piccolo, but he refuses anymore when wanting them to still keep Namek safe, and not wanting his personality to change from so many embodying him. The rest of Bardock's team are closer to the attack balls and have a head start in this mission. When Freeza arrives where Cold has retired, he tells him all that's happened, with Cold saying Ginyu's mutant body should still prove better than the Saiyans once he helps as Cold's sparring partner, and gives the Saiyans a parting gift of destroying the planet. Bardock losing his team again, and having realised the importance his bonds hold through his sons, has his anger and S-cells be great enough to become a Super Saiyan, but he still can't approach the fleeing duo when deep in space. He instead waits for their ship to finally land on a planet, and then use Chunkan Idor to get to them, ending the reign of Frieza's clan. Having an opportunity to see his own appearance in a reflection, Bardock realizes this must be the Super Saiyan form he saw Raditz attain, and all these low classes attaining what seemed rightfully his makes Vegeta even more motivated to become stronger, as he orders Nappa to head to Earth with him in Code's ship, with one slight detour to tell his father he can take over Coola's remnants. Bardock's next move is to go to Namek to revive his team, but his more selfish and evil actions than Raditz have the Namekians demand he goes through the trials. After proving his character and waiting a month or two for the Dragonballs to recharge from the last wish, he revives Toma and Seripa, though Bardock asks the Saichoro if he could revive Totepo and Pampukin for him in 130 days. The Saichoro tells him one as impure as Bardock will only get what he earned. It's then Bardock gets a telepathic message from Totepo and Pampukin, who are on Kaior's planet, with Kami requesting the team keep their bodies, along with clarifying Toma and Seripa have just left down Snake Road. Pampukin says it's fine, as he can't imagine readjusting to life on Earth when being a mercenary is all he's known, and spending eternity achieving greater strength in Otherworld is better, when Kami made a deal with Enma that they be allowed the one-day pass in the mortal realm in a deadly situation, should they improve their character with Kaior enough, when arguing their actions have prevented the loss of many innocent lives Coola would take, as a worthwhile exemption of their intended fate for hell. Bardock also asks if Gine is there, only to learn they haven't seen her, and accepts she's probably been reincarnated, with him making those two promise to come back before he's old enough to join them. Bardock returns to Earth immediately, which Toma and Seripa quickly get to through Kami. Vegeta starts staying at Capsule Corporation, and things go the same with Burima. Raditz initially lives with Goku, before venturing Earth to find his own path, eventually meeting Lunch, with a natural chemistry between his mix of ego and insecurities, and her two personalities, have them quickly become a couple, with them eventually having the children, Daikon and Fukumeni. On that topic, Toma and Seripa have enough downtime to realize their feelings, and have a daughter they name Pumpkin, in honor of their former teammate. By the time Bardock returns, it's early into age 762, when formally meeting with his family. Bardock is annoyed by Chi-Chi limiting Gohan's potential, but respects her fiery nature enough to calmly tell her it's best he becomes capable of defending himself against those from space, with how talented he is, and that he, Goku, and Raditz won't be around forever. Bardock finds adjusting to life there difficult, beyond sparring with his sons and Gohan, until new threats arrive on Earth, with Kin Vegeta taken over in the power vacuum. Many wishing to take it have started moving, and with destroying on Toei's original additional continuity for the anime that added many film elements. One such is Turles, who goes to Earth to plant the Shin Seiju. Bardock confronts him, and Turles says he's always respected Bardock, who should showcase his ambition by siding with him, dethroning Vegeta, and having the Saiyans crush all in their path once more. Bardock is tempted, but replies that he's become far more powerful from being on Earth than what Turles can achieve as a space pirate, to which Turles retorts Earth will allow him to grow stronger too. Having been far stronger than usual prior to leaving Frieza's army, the Shin Seiju allows Turles to compete with Bardock, but can't do anything once he transforms, and Bardock quickly destroys the tree before giving him the opportunity to leave Earth when not wanting to reduce the Saiyan population even more, nor caring which Saiyan takes Coola's throne. As Turles leaves Earth, he crosses path with Slug and tells him to become his subordinate, with Slug unwilling to and too old to be of use as an ally. Turles wipes out his group before turning attention to Kin Vegeta, swiftly overthrowing him. Meanwhile, Vegeta is angry upon learning all that happened, as, despite not caring much for his father, Vegeta sees Turles trying to overthrow his family seat as an insult to his pride. Turles' ki being one he's not familiar with, and having gotten out of range, Vegeta is forced to go in the capsule ship. Even with the speed of it, he arrives just as Turles executes his father, and seeing one who looks so much like those who humiliated him dethroning a symbol of his legacy is enough for Vegeta's rage to make him a Super Saiyan, as he wastes no time blasting Turles into pieces. Vegeta then heads back to Earth to prove his superiority against the other Super Saiyans. He first challenges Bardock, where having become used to 300 times gravity has made Vegeta capable of beating him 1v1. He's still not at the level he can face all three at once, instead falling back when glad to prove he's the strongest Saiyan again. A few months later, the Makyosei approaches Earth, and the Aqua Mist ends up infecting Goku and Raditz when they gather at Kame House. Finding more similarities to Piccolo's rejection of society, Bardock is with him at the time and avoids the mist, as do Vegeta and Nappa when in the gravity room. Bardock and Vegeta oppose the other two Super Saiyans and gain the advantage, especially once Nappa's frustration with everyone having left him behind has him transform too. And these strong allies, having Piccolo see no need to act possessed, as they instead storm the Shinden with raw power. And Piccolo's far more overwhelming advantage over Garlic Jr. has him use the Mafuba to seal him away and destroy the Makyosei once it comes near Earth. Goku eventually succumbs to the heart virus, with there having been so many conflicts on Earth to make it apparent how strong the Super Saiyans are. Gero instead activates 13, 14 and 15 after becoming 20. Even fused 13 isn't enough for how strong the Saiyans have become, with Gero being aware he must prepare far more and place his hopes in Cell. Sometime after, news of Vegeta having dealt with those trying to take Coola's worlds has Paragus learn of him being on Earth, where Bardock's appearance have things go a similar route with Broly, Bardock drawing on the power of the other Super Saiyans through the spirit control they've learned to wound Broly, and is efficient enough to make sure he doesn't escape Piccolo fuses with Kami when seeing how irrelevant he's become. And Bardock gets a Dragon Clan member from Namek, one from Sunar's village volunteering, who we'll call Mollis. After having seen Broly's power, the Saiyans focus on surpassing Super Saiyan and then master it at a far quicker rate than usual, even without using the Room of Spirit and Time, with how much spirit control has helped them calm their minds. Meanwhile, the remnants of Coola's territory gain yet another new ruler, who then sets his sights on Earth. The greater presence of the Saiyans had Dr. Lychee make his move once Kin Vegeta took over, and he soon has his Ghost Warriors attack Earth, who are the same aside from Cold replacing Slug, and Coola being far stronger than usual, to the point the Super Saiyans can't defeat him even together. It's at this point that Totapor returns, and shows what he's learned by creating a Super Genki Dama, when pleading for all those across the universe to help against what remains of Coola's group, completely wiping out Coola before going with Bardock, Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, and Piccolo, as the battle against Hachiak goes identical to the OVA. Totapor Appa then reunites with Seripa and Toma. Amused his spirited allies have let everyone else pass them by when being used to Earth's peace. A phrase that sticks in Vegeta's mind as he chooses to take his place as kin and return to Earth only now and then to check on his son's worthiness as an heir and how his rivals are progressing, while sure and no ambitious conquerors come out of the woodworks, with the spring in a few years of peace. Part 3 is where the events of the Buu arc and GT will be explored.